today the topic karma, cause and effect, is precisely why we do what we do, not for anybody else. People might think, oh, when you do a good deed, you want something back in return. No, actually, the best return we get in karma yoga is joy. And no amount of money can pay for that joy. Not only that, when you learn not to expect, and of course all of us in life have expectations. You do something, you want something in return. And the hardest lesson in life to learn is to do something and expect nothing in return. Hardest lesson. And when you learn to do that, what happens is you become free. Because you do for the sake of doing. You do because you get messages. This is what I need to do. And you're doing not for yourself, but just because you're an instrument of the divine. Because that's what we all are. And we get so involved in our individuality, in I, me, mine, that we forget that we're part of the whole. We're so clever looking at TikTok or WhatsApp and all these Instagram to find out who we are. And we're all part of one. Yeah, but you live like you're part of one. You live like that. It's easy to talk. And the center was built because we didn't want to do the talk, we wanted to walk the walk. And of course, like all children, we are children in the spiritual world, and we do make mistakes, we fall. And our duty here was always to support each other. And when people were selfish or egotistical, we'd be very honest and tell them, listen, we're all on this path together, sisters and brothers, and we're here to pick each other up. Why? Because the more we love each other and serve each other and become one, the more the place will be blessed. And if the place is blessed, the town will be blessed. Because wherever, Lord Jesus said, where two or more are in my name. What is my name but love? What did he represent but love? I am there too. So the whole law of karma is cause and effect. And we all know this is a scientific law, right? You do, right? All of you know this is science, right? As you sow, good, you see, you know it well. So, and for every action, there's an opposite and equal. Yes. Simple. Isn't the science so simple? So why do we get so complicated when things happen to us? And why do we become the victims? And why do we say, why me? Because I used to do that all the time before I got into the science of yoga. And it takes time. And why I love the science of yoga, the philosophy, more than anything else, is because it tells you it takes time to change this consciousness from a worldly consciousness of words and intellect into a spiritual awareness, awakening that we are much more than this mind, we are much more than this body, we are so much more. And we keep forgetting where we come from. And this is why for years, day after day, we work with different things to remind ourselves that this world is really quite temporary, and good things are going to happen to us, and very bad things are going to happen to us. So bad that they want to tear our heart out. We want to give up, and we want to say no, and we want to say, why me? I can't take this anymore. It's precisely at that point that we make a nudge, a move to something higher. Surely there must be more than just this. Surely we are here for some higher purpose. It just can't be about this. And so when I studied deeply the law of karma, cause and effect, it made me really think, because I was a victim when I started. Very quickly, I was very lucky because I think I was blessed to have a very spiritual background, a father who kept on telling me that God was everywhere and God was in everyone. So I had the advantage of a background that many people don't. And that's why I love to do my counseling. Many people didn't have this advantage of a background where your father tells you everything is divine and to accept everything in life. I had that. So when I went to poor me mode, when I started meditation and started studying the law of karma, I realized, hello, nobody's doing this to you, Nalanie. You chose this. You wanted to learn. You wanted to grow. And then, when I studied the yogic scriptures, and all scriptures really say the same, God doesn't get involved in our nonsense. There is no God that says, oh, you're good, but you're bad. For me, the transformation was this God of love would give us whatever we wanted, so long as we thought in the same frequency as that divine love. So it changed from, dear God, please make this change. I really would like you to do this. Thanks. I need your help to change me. And you all know when I pray your prayers. I'm sure you all know it. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The wisdom. And I go, oh my God, I don't have the wisdom yet when I first started. Oh, I need tranquility, but I have courage. And this is what is really required on this path more than anything else, is courage to change the things I can. That's it. I couldn't do anything else. The wisdom wasn't there yet. Tranquility wasn't there yet. But the courage was there. And what was the courage? The courage was to let go of this selfish me, this poor me, and all this is going wrong in my life. That was courageous to do that, because of course as human beings we feel sorry for ourselves and we love attention. And to get away from the attention that Nalanie wants, to see what was required of me to be a better human being, not focus on just the I, my life, what's going on with me. And by changing that aspect of the mind, you change the way you live. And this is what yoga is all about. So action and reaction. So I saw, okay, so there's no God punishing me and no demon telling me to be evil. Everything is where? Within me. It's within me. Kingdom of heaven is within. So start working within. Now this needs courage, because we always like to think we're the best and we're this and we're that and we know it all, and that's a whole bunch of nonsense. Start from scratch. Watch myself, watch my thoughts. You all know this very famous saying, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your action. Watch your action, they become your character. Watch your character, they make your destiny. So who's made your destiny? Right there, law of karma. All in those sentences, there is the law of karma. Nobody did anything to us. We did it to ourselves. That is the freedom that the gods talk about, that human beings have. And we are so fortunate in this world to have a human body to be able to decipher this information, because it gets lost in all the words. And the practice of yoga gets you to look within yourself. Where is it that I need to change? And actually, when I started to do that, first came the courage to accept the things I did not like about myself. I think that took a lot of courage. And then to admit to the people I had hurt in my life, I'm sorry I didn't know better. I'm sorry if I spoke to you like this. I am sorry if I hurt you. But I also got the courage to say to the people who did hurt me, sorry, I'm not taking this anymore. I don't deserve it. I am an instrument of the divine, just like you are. But if you want to bully me, I'm saying no. I'm walking away. So it was win-win on all sides. And then takes the practice. Now this is the hard part for spiritual people. We start off really enthusiastic when we read some books and we're going to do the practice, A couple of weeks later, if you don't do it every day, As Sri Patanjali says, and I know you know this well, you have to practice for a
long time, without a break, and with all your heart.
And that's the science of yoga that was written like thousands of years ago. It still applies today. There is no quick fix. The only quick fix is you. You are your quick fix. How? How do you do it when the mind is troubled? How do you do it when you're anxious? How do you do it when everybody tells you you're crazy? By knowing that there is this incredible force, call it God, call it what you want. I call it the frequency of love. For me, God is love. Because it's not a person and it's nothing, it's just love. Gives us exactly, it vibrates back to us what we give it. And that God of love, when you start to vibrate in the frequency simply of goodness and kindness, acceptance, letting go. Letting go is the hard one. Letting go of all our attachments, letting go of all the expectations, letting go of the desire to have money, to have fame, to have all of that, but knowing that you are completely looked after anyway. Whoa, that's a hard one. I'm looked after. I don't need to think about those things. I just need to be. I just need to be kind. I just need to be good. Doesn't mean you don't work with it. This is a fallacy again with many yoga students. They want to be hippies. They want to go, let everybody feed me. That also doesn't work. Actions we need to perform. The Bhagavad Gita talks about action. He said, just by being born in this world, you have no choice. You are pushed to action. What action should you take on this earth? And it talks about karma yoga, which is the action where you perform your acts without any expectation from anyone. Like I said, this is a hard one to learn. This takes years. So don't judge yourself and don't punish yourself if you have expectations, because that doesn't work either. So, slowly, in time, be patient, trust yourself. I trust in time. This is a learning, this is a school, this is the best school of all, this spiritual school. Take my time, don't rush through it. And really, this is my advice, because a lot of people who start the spiritual path, what happens, they get very excited, they try all kinds of funny things. Oh, I want to get high, I want to do this, and now it's all about psychedelic drugs. Let's do some this or that, or ayahuasca or this. There's no quick fix, my friends. And then I see that they come back, they get good. Somebody told me, oh, Nalanie, I want to try ayahuasca. I said, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not a judge. But you have to do what you want to do. But I'm saying, can you understand that the best gift is in you? If you learn to use that love well, you don't need anything else. You're not dependent on anything. Anyway, she did it, and she came back, and she did tell me that she felt amazing, she felt really good. So I thought, yeah, great, I must be wrong. Everybody's different, right? So 3 months went, 5 months went, 6 months went, 7 months came. She came back crying, and I said, why are you crying? She said, I'm so ashamed. I said, why are you ashamed? She said, because I'm back in the same hole. And worse, I've crashed. She said, I really believe the drug made me feel so good for 3 months, 4 months, whatever it was, that I didn't need to do anything else. So I stopped meditating. I stopped working on my mind. I stopped doing all of this, and suddenly I'm going just down, and I'm worse than before. I said, you don't have to be sorry. Good experience. You've learned this is not your path. Nothing is a mistake. Please understand this. There's no mistakes. Things happen to teach us. And this is what I've learned with 30 years of counseling. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's bad. It's just that we didn't know. No problem. See, you agree with me. We just didn't know. We didn't know better. Really, there's nothing to judge there. Of course, if you know, the problem starts is if you know, and you have the education, and then you hurt people, this is not acceptable. because this is manipulation, and I've seen this in yoga schools as well, and schools, all religious schools all over the world, not just all traditions. Once people think they know it all, they manipulate others to follow them. It's fine to follow somebody, but it's not about that. They can help you, we can share information, but what you really, really, really need to learn is that nobody can do your karma for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to really make the time to discover who you are on this earth. What do you want? What do you want? That's karma. What do I want? What do I want to put into the earth so that my life is better? It's pretty selfish, isn't it? If I don't hurt anyone, then hopefully nobody hurts me too. And Sri Patanjali tells us, in the presence of somebody who practices ahimsa, ahimsa means non-violence, all hostilities cease. You see, you know it. When you practice non-violence, hostile things don't come back to you. Why? It's a scientific law. It's the law of this earth. You start to dim down on your karma. So the more years that you practice these things, truthfulness, non-violence, the better your future you're building. That is the only choice we have. We don't have any other choice. And somebody will say, oh, but that person was so horrible to me. So yes, was horrible. Was horrible. Past tense. You don't need to talk about sorry. I disagree with all these trauma experts sometimes. Forgive me. Yes, we all have trauma in my life. I don't know one person that doesn't. You talk about it, get it out of your system, and start to forgive fast. Otherwise, you are talking about it all the time. And if you're talking about your trauma all the time, what is in your mind? As you think? So you need to change the conversation with you, not anybody else. Nobody else needs to know this, but you need to work on your mind. Really, literally take that mind and say, this is a violent thought. I don't have to do anything about this violent thought. I won't put it into my words, and I won't put it into my action. I'm going to stop that negative karma coming back to me. In a case of anger, right? So if you're an angry person and you keep shouting, and it's a habit that you have for a long time, and you decide, look, every time I shout, that person shouts back at me, because kids tell me that about their moms and dads, oh, my daughter, my son is very cheeky, always screaming and shouting. And I go, well, she told me that you're always shouting at him. You're the example. No, but I'm the parents. And she's also your teacher. We come to this earth to learn from each other. So then, in the case of anger, let's say you're angry, you watch it. You watch the cause, effect, and you're swimming in the cycle of pain. It's painful, isn't it? Anybody know the feeling? Yes. You have all gone through it. It's painful. It's just really, again, do I really need this again? And that's our position on this earth. We come here, especially spiritual people, to break these negative cycles. We break them. We don't condone them anymore. We come here to break the cycle so that the next generation can have more freedom, more love, more kindness, can have these examples. But if we don't do that, we don't break these cycles of anger, insults, blame, victimhood, the next generation doesn't have a chance. They don't have a chance. They need us as examples. So let's say in the case of anger, let's go back to it again. You know that all this costs so much. You find a solution. How do you find a solution? Sit with yourself for a little while. Don't give yourself a huge challenge and say, tomorrow I won't be angry, because when you say that, you will be. Promise, guaranteed. I'm going to work towards it slowly, because I can see it's causing a lot of pain. It's causing a lot of pain, not only to the other person, to me. Because when you get angry, it's exhausting, isn't it? When I used to get angry, I was in hospital 3 times a year with asthma. What do you think? I saw that. It was nobody's fault that I was sick. I was psychosomatic. I could not get angry. The moment I got angry, I got sick. I wheezed. So I want to be healthy. I'm get angry. Selfish again, I can do it. But it's a different kind of selfish because it doesn't hurt anybody else as well. So you give yourself like time. Every day I'm going to work on this. You sit down, you meditate, you watch the times that you got angry, and you watch the reaction. And the temptation is to blame somebody else. It always is. And constantly keep this in your mind, my master's words. You point one finger that way is a loaded gun and 4 more pointing back towards you. I repeat this almost daily to people. 4 more pointing your way, 1 that way. Then you say, okay, I'm going to stop this. Maybe I feel that person is really wrong. I accept that I feel that. But it's not getting me anywhere. It's not getting me anywhere. I'm just getting worse. So I'm going to say, what is my part? What do I do to bring out the worst in that person? And what can I do to step away from it? What can I do? And then when I did that switch, everything changed. But it took time because, the ego, the courage I talked about earlier, doesn't like to be wrong. It doesn't like to be wrong. I can't be responsible for that bad person's feelings towards me, but I could. I realized that when I went in front of this person, I was defensive. I was really giving out the aura. You don't like me? I don't like you. Maybe I shut up, but the aura is very powerful, and people feel auras. So what did I do? Until I got strong. And how did I do this? Every day. Bless the person I blamed. And my master said, if you want peace, it's the only way forward. And I did. I didn't believe I was blessing the person, but I really tried. It was hard. It was so hard, but I did it. Until the day came when I looked at this person and I thought, nothing. We had this conversation this morning, Sheila. It's about people who hurt us. And then there's a time when you go, there's no anger. There's also no, I forgive you, silliness. It's, what's happened's happened. We have forgiven. I don't need to be in your company anymore. Done. It's so easy that way. And you're free, and you free them too. Because every time they see you, they trigger. Why? I don't know, but that's not my problem, is it? Do you see what I'm saying? They trigger, walk away. Walk away. It's their problem. They have to live with their anger. So this is how you give yourself solutions. And if you can't face that day, don't be there. Find ways to escape. Call a good friend. Please find ways to escape. There's so many wonderful things in the world. So many beautiful things. One of the things that really helped me is when we started this center, we started to do a lot of charity work abroad in Nepal and India and Sri Lanka. And I think this was the greatest teacher of all. You go, and I felt lacking in this, lacking in that. And I went there and I go, I'm the richest girl I know. You come back with a different feeling. You see people that suffer. Watching it on television is hard, but seeing it live is even more incredible. And then you come back feeling so abundant. Every day is so abundant. So you look at what's weak, what's the fears in you? What are the fears in you, right? What's stopping you from creating this truthfulness, this kindness, this non-violence in your life? What is stopping you? Only thing is yourself. And that's the thing you have. That's the courage. I am responsible. That gives you the courage, but that also gives you what?
Accountability.
Thank you. And the best weapon is in your hands. It's so exciting. Then comes the next stage of growth. Wow, this is exciting. I can say no to the things I don't like. I don't have to pretend to be spiritual and nicey when I don't feel it. I'm owning myself when I feel it. And when I'm not, I'm just out of people's way because I don't have a right to disturb anybody's peace. And that I learned from Master Shivananda, who is the master of my master. He's there. And he used to say, if you can't be nice, and if you're going to make the world miserable, go lock yourself in the room and stay away from people till you wake up and can be nice. I did just that. I did just that. And my husband would say, what's wrong with us? I'm really angry with you today and I don't want to say something I'm going to regret, so I'm going to lock myself in the room till I get out of this silly mood. And I did. In the beginning I'd take a pillow and hit it on the so frustrating. Men are so frustrating, right? And I think men do the same with women. It was so frustrating. And then after I did it a few times, I felt sorry for the pillow and I never needed to do it again. Which was really, so it took time. What I'm trying to show you here, cause and effect. It's easy to tell you all these wonderful things about karma. Karma is incredible. The matrix is incredible. The laws within this matrix is just so incredible. Why we come to certain families, why we come to certain problems, why it's just when you start to see that and you realize everything that's happened to me has brought me to this point. So I can wake up to my spirit, to my soul. I can wake up to what I feel is God in me. Or I feel enlightened in me. I feel lighter. And I know this world is so temporary. And I don't have to be miserable in this world. I can love it. I can love it for its goodness and for its badness and its wickedness and its blessedness. I can love it anyway. But I don't have to accept all the nonsense that goes within this whirlpool of cause and effect, cause and effect. This is wrong, this is right. You know what? I'm nobody to judge. Nobody to judge. And you step away from the judgment and you just watch. Simply for me, there are problems, solutions. Solutions within me, within you, within all of us. But are you willing to spend the time within yourself, your heart, your soul, to talk to yourself, to nurture yourself, to know yourself, to scold yourself when you do something wrong? And all the good, really, Sri Patanjali is right. When you just put that into the earth, there's a time the earth gives it back to you. Because God is everywhere, in all nature. It is in everything we do. So and the magic comes from within us, but we really have to make the effort, cause and effect. What are we putting out in the world? And even if you get it when you're older, it's such a great gift, right? Like we have miracles, Les and I, all the time at home, and it's really great to see it. And you go, and it's just simple miracles that there is a divine force that works with this law. It's a law. It's a law. It's a scientific law. And it doesn't judge. It just gives you back what you give it. It just gives you back what you give it. It's like a boomerang. And the aim of the spiritual person is to understand this law, like he said, see it as theater. It's theater. So when the thing that upsets you happens, step back. This is theater. I just have to let this pass. It will pass. And this too shall pass. That was one of my favorite sayings. And this too shall pass. Let it pass. Let it pass. But be patient. And really service is meant to be like that. But service should be a joy. It should not be an obligation. We have certain obligations in life, like if you have a family, etc. They are duties. We call them duties. Now, these kind of duties should be done in the spirit of love, not in the spirit of why did this happen to me? Why is my child so spoiled? Why is it? No, this has been sent to me because there is some lesson I need to learn. What do I have to change in my behavior? Whether that person changes or not is not in your hands. It's never in your hands. It's in their hands. But what can I do to change my behavior? That is the constant question. I asked for this lesson. What do I need to learn? And sometimes the lesson may be, you need to be more selfish. It can be that. I've had many people give to their partner, takes. And I said, well, you're pretty dumb then. You need to be a little bit more selfish. Ask a little bit more. Sometimes you need to ask. You know, my master used to say that. He said, Nalanie, you know how to give, but you don't know how to receive. And I'm learning how to receive. I get abundant. Everywhere I go, food, love, kindness. So learn to receive also, okay? Sometimes this is spiritual people think we shouldn't receive things, but I always think love wants you to have it all. And I'll give you a story about this, which I learned from my dad. Many years ago, we went to India, and I don't know if you know Dada Vaswani, you've heard of him. He's incredible saint, incredible. He and my master were very close, and he was in a place called Pune, and he had a beautiful school for girls, and he also built a hospital. One side of the hospital was all for the poor, and the other side of the hospital were for the rich. So the rich would subsidize the poor. I love that. You know, and they knew they were paying a lot more to pay for the poor, but that's the way they did their charity, and it just flowed. Anyway, we went there, and there was another woman who was from one of his disciples. She took us to a building site, and this building site, the women and the men had to work because they were so poor, and the children had nowhere to go, so they were all like sitting in this rubble with this teacher, with this woman who was teaching them every day. So I went with Dad, and my father we had gone to buy clothes for all of them, food for all of them, and then we went to distribute to these kids these clothes, which we did in Africa as well. Such a great feeling. And the children with the clothes, the dresses, and the students, so excited. So this woman who was teaching them, she looked to me like an angel. I thought she was an angel from heaven. And my father had given me a very expensive watch. Okay, really one of these that were 3,000, whatever. And I'm not bothered by watches or jewelry, but my father loved me to have it. So anyway, I said, Dad, I have to give more. I don't have much money, but I have this. And I took up my watch, and I was about to give it. And my dad said, no. I said, Dad, why? It's only material. He said, no. I explained to you when we get to the hotel. So I went to the hotel with Dad, and he said, darling, I'm your father. I have the money. I love to see you in this. Make me happy. Your mom likes to see you dressed. God has given us plenty. I gave them the clothes. I gave them the food. Now, if you give them this watch, they don't know what it's worth. They will sell it for something very little, and the money will be gone. And the wives will give it to the husbands who get drunk every day, beats them up in the end, and they still have to work. What good are you doing? You do more good by wearing this watch. And that was a big lesson for me. It was a big lesson for me because, yes, and then he said, look at all our goddesses. If you look at all our goddesses, they all have jewelry. They all look beautiful. He said, don't you know? We were born to be like gods and goddesses in the world, but we have all this strange thinking that if you look after yourself, is not good enough. But if you look after yourself, you look after the God and Goddess in you. Are you not God's child also? It's not talking about greed. He said, if it comes to you, keep it, enjoy it, wear it, and say thank you every day. Say thank you every day. But don't say, oh, I don't deserve it, I shouldn't wear a ring, I shouldn't do this because I should be poor. Why? All our goddesses are adorned. And my master said something to me many years ago. I was wearing a plastic ring one time. Some of the kids gave me from the children's class. He saw me wearing it, and he said, Nalanie, why do you wear that plastic? It's not very nice. And I said, Guru, it's sentimental. This is me thinking I'm spiritual. It's sentimental, so cute. The kids gave it to me. He said, do you know the energy of plastic on your body is a negative vibration because it's a man-made fabric that's not made out of pure things. If you want to wear anything, I'm not saying make it something that has good energy. Anything you put in your body, on your body, has frequency. Now, you all know about crystals, right? And stones, they have frequencies. We know about that. So things like diamonds, and they all have frequencies. So he said, if you want to wear something on your body, make sure it's good. You know, don't wear so much rubbish, because it can cause you illnesses as well, because the material that they're made of and the people who make them as well. So this is just little things that I picked up on the way, that, you know, we judge ourselves so harshly. People come to me and they have everything go, I feel guilty. Why? If you're guilty, help others. Oh, I do, but I still feel guilty. I said, don't. If you feel guilty more often, you're going to lose everything you got. Why? Because we're giving that vibration. But if you give the vibration, thank you, and may I serve, may I love, may, you know, so many people come to our home every day, right, Les? We're always feeding people. They come call me from England, I'm coming for a day, from Vejer, from here, from Barcelona. Come, and it just feels so nice that I can feed you, I can look after you, I can be kind to you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not about, it's if I didn't have it, how can I look after you? Do you see? So these are the things that spiritual people need to stop thinking small also. This is the abundance that we need to really, really think about every day of our life. What do you use it for? When we die, we have no use for it anyway. No use for it. Isn't it there to share, to love, to give, to care, and to care for yourself too, because we are part of the whole. And that's what I understood, love thy neighbor as thyself. If you don't feel you deserve anything, you will feel in your heart nobody else does too. And that's such a judgment, isn't it? But if you feel you deserve something, you believe everybody deserves it too. Isn't that so much easier to do? So much lighter, so much easier. Even saying it feels lighter, you know? Everybody does. I want the best for everyone. I'm so blessed. May everyone be so blessed. And this is the Sanskrit prayer, right? Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Punam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. What does it mean? Happiness be unto all, auspiciousness be unto all, peace be unto all, stillness be unto all, fullness be unto all. The second verse I won't say, but it means happiness be unto all, and may all be free from suffering, and may we see good in everyone. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. And this is a chant that in the Vedas ask us to chant constantly, constantly. And the other chant, Asato Ma, which we always do here, you know, lead us from unreal to real. Lead us from darkness to the light. Lead us from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. These chants have feeling, they have words, they're thousands of years old, and it's all about goodness. And you read the old Irish blessings, right? May all be full of blessings, may all be full of love, may all be free from suffering. It's the same. And these are prayers that we should have in our minds. And this is, even if you don't like the Sanskrit pronunciation, then you use your English prayers. It doesn't matter which language. God is in all languages. It doesn't matter which religion. God is in all religions. It's all these separations that we have made that create this world of war. It's the separations. It's the divisions. It's my land. You know, my master would laugh. He says, people think this is their country or their country. It all belongs to the world. When you die, who does it belong to? Who does it belong to when you die? All this through greed. And our generation, we can see it. But the wonderful news is there is an awakening. There is an awakening. Many, many people are waking up to spirit. They're fighting for their peace. They're realizing that we are being ruled by people who are only interested in filling their own pockets. We're realizing it. We're waking up. And we are now spiritually getting stronger, because that's one thing they can't handle. That's why throughout the ages, every tradition, organization wanted to control us. But it's not about control. When you don't feel in control, like Lord Jesus trusted, right? He was everything. He never said he was one tradition or one religion. He was the religion of love. My master was the same, the religion of love. He used to say, oh, I'm not a Hindu, I'm an Undu. I thought that was really cool, right? Because he was trying to accept everybody and everything for what we are. It's the divisions that cause karma. And if you look at wars all over the world, you can see the countries that are at war. It's a collective karma. They're collective karmas, and they're individual karmas. And they're the karmas that you really wouldn't expect. It's like a matrix, people that you don't expect to come into your life and help you when you need help and you never expected them to. And the people that you expected to help you will be the ones that will crucify you. It's just the way it is. That's why when you understand the law of karma, you start to let go of all these attachments to these things. Nothing is mine, nothing is mine. It's all a gift, it's all a gift. So long as you can stay above that painful place of judgment. And sometimes, you know, I've seen many yoga teachers now all over the world, and they're the worst place of judgment. And I don't like to say this, but even when you're bad, you did this and you did this and you did it. No, you need to say, this is wrong, what you're doing. What you're doing is wrong. But not saying you're worse than me because I'm better than you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not putting anybody down to make yourself feel good or lying to make yourself. It's nothing about that. And really the only truth I can tell you after these years of practicing, and I still have so much to learn, and there's so much yet to understand, because God is so vast we cannot know him or it love with his mind. We're very conditioned to what people tell us. My only thing I can tell you is really spend more time alone with you, and you know, try to stay out of places where there's a lot of gossip, a lot of negativity, because it drowns you. It does drown you, whether you like it or not. When you're around people who are always depressed, you will get down. You will. You have no choice because it's energy, right? So it's really important to look after your soul and your energy. It's the only one you've got in this body. This time round, we all have bodies that work. Make the most use of it. Think every day when you start, how would I like to live my day if it was my last day? Laugh, dance more, sing more, enjoy more. You know, I think God wanted us to have fun. We got too serious in spirituality. My master was very funny. Honestly, Gurda, well, he was funny. He would tell the funniest jokes. Yeah, and most of the people that I met, my father, another one, was so funny, you know, and he was so full of love, and nothing would bother him. You know, people will say, oh, that's their problem now, don't worry. You know, you don't have to take responsibility for their mistakes, he would say. God sent them to me, I treat them as God's children. If they do something wrong, not my problem.